Good evening, everybody. Time for Anarchy Survival, episode 5 on 2B2T, and actually it's going to be the last one. We're just about done with everything I needed to get done. Hey, welcome C4. Thanks for popping in. I was just explaining that this is going to be the last episode for this particular series because it's everything's done. I'm about to wrap stuff up for you guys to show you a couple more things, and then maybe move on to something else. I got a couple other projects I got in mind that I need to work on. So let me kind of take you around kind of what happened in the last week. I actually didn't get around to really playing too much in the last week. Work was really stupid busy for me. So unfortunately, I didn't really get to play online. That's why I didn't stream during the week. So from the last time I streamed, I think I AFK'd fished for 12 hours. I got 12 mending, or not 12, I got 4 mending books. I only really needed 1. And then kind of just did something else this morning that I was kind of testing out. I was trying to test out a new Melon pumpkin fart. I did a couple designs. I kind of figured that because I didn't have sticky pistons, my normal designs wouldn't work. So I went through like 2 different designs. The one that I have right now is kind of but it works for this particular series. Because like I said before, this was just a series about kind of just getting you started, getting, you know, maxed out gear, getting the villagers, the iron golem farm, and kind of going from there. So let's kind of wrap up that particular part of this series, and then I can kind of explain, you know, what would your next plan be after this, you know? So let's go there. So as you see, I still have the normal villagers here. I have I added 1 extra farmer over there, and I kind of just caved out a couple spots for more villagers whenever I found some good ones. So that, I mean, they're still breeding, they're still popping out babies like nothing. I still go feed them like 9 stacks of carrots, and they're still just breeding away. So I mean, that's kind of what you want when you have a villager farm. You kind of just want to keep breeding them, and then thinning out the herd, kind of say. So I mean, like, I don't need butchers, so I would kill them. I already have 2 farmers, so I don't know if I would have another one. Cartographers I'd kill. I have no use for a cartographer, particularly on 2B, because I mean, you can look up the seed online, and then you can know where all the mansions or all the water temples are at. So cartographers, other than trading in paper, they're completely useless. And you know, you've got there's actually a librarian there, but I'm not going to unlock him. I'm kind of just leaving these guys. I'm not going to be messing with these guys anymore. Oh, he almost got out. I saw you, buddy. So here's the sugarcane farm that I built on the stream with you guys, and it's an okay sugarcane farm. It's slow. It is going to lose a lot of stuff, and it's like a lot of the stuff with the pistons. They're just going to fall down here. Some will fall here and get collected. Some will fall here. So it is not a complete perfect system. There are a lot of other designs out there, but for the stream and the size of it, I just want to show you what you could kind of quickly get started if you needed to. I'm sure probably if you had a huge area and put a bunch out water on land and then just go break them off. But I like doing when I'm AFK fishing or something like that. I like to be able to break and collect it for me. So I mean, if you're going to do this for reals at a big base, I would definitely build this a lot bigger and a lot more sugarcane. You'd probably want to get at least a stack every 30 minutes, at least. So this is the Melon pumpkin farm I kind of built. I don't usually like using hopper minecarts on 2B at all, mainly because of the TPS. It can be kind of really crappy. But this design's okay for what I'm doing right now. I mean, it's got I went melon pumpkin. I did 4 of each, and they'll grow in the dirt area here. These observers will detect them. They'll send a signal down this repeater, which will shoot, these are regular pistons, which will shoot this redstone forward, which will then power this whole line, which will, of course, destroy the pumpkins and melons on that side. But it'll also send another pulse this way with a delayed repeater to this piston, which pushes the redstone block back. So it's It's not great. You could probably extend this out to 15 blocks because of the length of power to redstone lines. But I mean, you could stack these up. You could set them side by side. The other option is to offset them. So the pistons are actually here, and then they would grow, you know, like this stem would grow onto this side, not forward and backwards. That way, it would push it into a water stream, which collects it. I mean, there's several designs out there. Lots of them you can do without sticky pistons. Hey, Stop Work. Hey, thanks for popping in for my live stream. Hey, I've been doing these a lot lately. It's something new. Just kind of going over the melon and pumpkin farm that I kind of just built, and I've been running in this for about the last 2 hours. So it's been pumping stuff out, and it's only 4 stems of each. So if you had a lot more going, you would definitely get a lot more output. Alright, let's head back in. So this is kind of the area I kind of built just to show off. This is all the items that I made during the live streams. These are all the max level items that I was talking about. So I have a silk pick, I have my max level sword, fortune diamond pickaxe, a full fortune axe, silk shovel, full mending bow, full fishing rod, and then I have the helmet, the pants, and the boots. And the last thing we need to do is, with another mending, is the chest plate. And that is the last piece of armor. Boom, just like that. So I need a replacement. So like I said, at the very beginning of the stream, to get a full set of gear does not take long. It took me a couple days, but a lot of it's AFK fishing because you have to get the experience, you have to get the books. You know, I didn't really use the enchanting room that much. I mean, you kind of use it to get the initial enchantments sometimes, but for the most part, you can get it all from, you know, the AFK fishing. You get that in no time. So I've got this all set up here, and I also put a book here too. I'm not gonna open it. I'm kind of just gonna leave it here in case it ever gets found. Hey, everybody, thanks for popping in. Kind of just going over the base. So here's all the max level stuff. And, you know, the Iron Golem farm has been going good. It's been chugging out stuff. Still got tons of bones. I haven't even dealt with these guys in a while. Let's head upstairs real quick. I don't think too much has changed up there. And of course, here's our dual Iron Golem villager breeder. Still going. And I've got the 6 villagers in there. So like at the very beginning of the stream, I said that I want to show you guys how to maximize your efforts. So think about this. While I was AFK fishing, the skeleton spawner was activated, so I was always getting bones and arrows, but I could set up a filter to get rid of the arrows because those things are completely useless. I wish you could burn those. But, you know, you have the AFK fishing, you get all the loot from that. You get the spawner with the bones going, so you could make bone blocks. I have my Iron Golem farm running, getting iron. Villagers that are breeding. There's the sugarcane farm, the melon pumpkin farm. So all those are running while you're doing one action. And I could even set up if I was... I mean, if I figured to be here longer, there's also a couple spider spawners right around here. I mean, there's that one right there, the cave spider spawner. If you want to get a bunch of string for trading, or even wool for trading, you could set up another spawner right there, and you could figure out wherever... If you're within 15 blocks of both spawners, they will both be activated. Let's see if we can get that one. That one's activated. So if I was going to AFK fish here, this one's activated, and this one's activated. So I could actually have 2 spawners going at the exact same time and still getting stuff output. So I could put in like my AFK fishing right here, and that would just even give me more stuff. So at this point, you're probably saying, BarrenDome, what would I do next? Well, that's a good question. You kind of have 2 choices at this point. You can either continue building up your base. Actually, because you can see how ghetto my base is. It's cobble, it's hollowed out into walls, there's cobblestone everywhere. And you could go at this point, you could say finally, hey, all right, now I'm going to, you know, pretty it up to make it nice, make it presentable if it actually stopped over, not make it look like so ghetto. Or you could just say, hey, I think I've collected enough materials to make a trip to the end, and I think it's time to go to the end and go get some shulker shells or some elytras. I know that elytra is not enabled on 2B2T, but you could go get them, so when it is enabled, you have them. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've built all the things I want to show you guys to see, and you're probably wondering, what would I take to the end? Because at this point I don't have shulker shell, so you only have the 27 spots that are in your ender chest. And that's a good question. Now, you know, what would you take? You only have 27 spots. I kind of came up with a kind of a quick list of what items I would think to take to the end, to if you were going to live there for a while, how to survive. So a couple of things, of course, is you're going to bring what's going to be in your ender chest. Of course, you're going to have 4 spots already for your armor. You're going to have your sword. Or you could forego the sword and just have an axe. So the axe could serve a dual purpose of attacking and clearing out what are they called? Purper? Not purper. I can't even think what they're called. The fruit that grows out there. Purper fruit or whatever. But if you take your axe, you're not going to get the option for looting for when you go kill endermen for the ender pearls. So it's an option of what you could do. Of course, you're going to want to take your fishing rod. You've got to take your fishing rod because you're going to be doing AFK fishing in the end. You're going to set up like, if you have a hacked client, just setting up a water stream and you can AFK fish. Or if you don't have a hacked client and you're vanilla, you're going to need to take the components to make this kind of system. So you're going to need to take your sticky piston. I would recommend also taking, getting a stack, an iron block stack, and taking that with you because you're going to make probably hoppers. You're going to need them for just anything, really. The hooks. I use iron so much. If you want to start mending your gear, you're going to need an anvil, and those deteriorate, so you're going to need stuff like that. You're probably going to want to take, I always take 2 lava buckets, one for if I want to make a cobblestone generator, or even a dual cobblestone smooth stone generator for building. That's an option. Or I mean, you could just build off the end stone. I would definitely take saplings because you're going to need to be growing wood. You're going to need to also take grass. I would not take dirt, I would take grass, because with grass you could kind of have the option to make a flower farm if that was your thing. But I always choose grass over dirt, just the way I am. I would also take a boatload of redstone. Take some redstone blocks. Take nether quartz ore. Take the ore, because if you use the fortune on it, then you could get a lot more than a stack. They're like, I'll recognize that iron placement. I'll be there soon. All right. I'll see. Once again, come on over. I don't mind if you come on over. What else would I take? I would not take buckets of water. I would probably take a stack of ice. Mainly because you can make a bucket and then you've got all this water. Technically, you only need 2 buckets for unlimited water. But if you have just one stack taking up one spot, it saves inventory space. NZ Gaming asks, am I done with the series? I'm done. I think I'm done with the series as it is here at this location on 2B. I kind of did everything I wanted to do. I showed you how to get a full stack of armor, full stack of fully enchanted tools and armor. I built a base where, you know, you've got a furnace, a micro farm, you can get snow blocks. I mean, there's lots of things in this area alone that all run. And I did it quickly. This was not a long process. I probably could have finished it up in a weekend. If I really want to, if I was going to play Minecraft all weekend, I could have done this in a weekend. I probably could have got a spider farm built up too, with just a simple killing chamber, of cactuses and hoppers that I don't even need to stand over there and collect, because all I want is their string. I don't care about their eyeballs. Hey, Just Rez. I was just going over everything else that kind of wrapping stuff up. So at this point, there's really not much I want to do here. I think if I'm going to continue the series, I'm going to continue it on from the point of view, you have this stuff, you have what you got, you can either choose to build up further, make this nice, or go to the end. And I'm going to choose to, if I do this series again, from the standpoint of being in the end, and then kind of moving on and kind of what I do in the end, you know, making fishing farms, growing crops, and just raiding end cities. And that'd probably be a lot quicker series until you get to a point where, do you want to settle in the end and make a base? You could do that. As long as you have the right supplies. That's the problem. You need to make sure you bring... you need to think about what you're going to bring before you hop into the end, because you're probably not going to be able to get a lot of it. Fluffy ass. I just started out on 2B2T. I'm vanilla. I'm making map art and trading. A decent way for me to get gapples, god armor, etc. I mean, you can ask people to trade. Whether or not they'll give it to you, that's a different question. I mean, I kind of showed you how to get god armor. It just doesn't take time. I mean, you're only going to get one set. Lots of people out there, if they've been on 2B for a while, they have unlimited quantities of god armor. So it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I haven't gone into my inner chest, but I mean, I have stacked items. Yeah, I mean, one shulker box will last me, probably could last me alone a year just on items. So I think I'm going to, this is just going to be a quick stream because I kind of just want to wrap this up just to say where I have everything. That was kind of strange on the song. Because there's really nothing else I want to do here. I showed everything I wanted to get done. So what I probably will do is I'm probably going to do a world download of this location. And then I think later, if you guys are up for it, maybe I'll pop on, do a slash kill, and pop on down to spawn. JSOR says, do you know of a problem where every time the server crashes, your bed spawn point gets reset and sometimes you die after the server crash and spawn at spawn? The only time my bed has never worked properly on 2B was when I accidentally put it in an area where my bed was obstructed and I couldn't spawn next to the bed. I had like below bedrock kind of a thing, so I couldn't spawn near it. It was my own fault. But other than that, I mean, I've killed myself hundreds of times, and I've never had an issue with my bed, ever. Just make sure that when you get in your bed, you lay down in it, and give it some time. Don't just click escape. I always click leave bed. That's just what I do. Hey, Bobby. So before I kind of just wrap this stream up, it is a quick stream just because this is the end. I don't have anything else to show you guys. Do you have any particular questions on some of the processes, procedures, or anything like that? JSOR says, thank you, BarrenDome, for the advice. Yeah, no problem, dude. I mean, I want to make it so you guys can get, you know, a lot of people worry about, you know, they can't get a lot of stuff on this game, that they're always... they don't have the proper materials. They can't get the stuff fast enough. It doesn't take that long. It's just you got to put the time in, and a lot of it's AFK fishing, of course. Dog is looking at me. Treddy says you should do an escape spawn live stream like Toro did. No. Too many people have done escape spawns. It's not even a challenge. It really is not a challenge. If you've played 2B at all for any amount of time, it is not a challenge. There's so many highways, both Nether and Overworld. Even not using a highway, you could just walk it, and it does not take long. You walk Overworld 1,000 blocks, hopping through a random portal because 2B2T, there's portals freaking everywhere. You'll be on a highway and just hop on a highway and just go in a general direction until you feel like, hey, I'm far enough. I'm going to pop out another random portal that everybody leaves everywhere. It's not that hard to escape spawn. Seriously. Yeah, when Fluffy says, try acquiring a god apple, then wait for dupe. Exactly, that's what I recommend. Like, if you're in this position, you want to try to collect everything that you can before a dupe. You want to make sure that you have, like, one of at least everything before that dupe. Like, definitely. So, I don't normally have bottles of enchanting. If I was just starting out, so I would come to my cleric. I don't think I've opened up their trades. But you trade with them until they open up their bottles of enchanting, buy a couple, and just sit on them until a dupe happens. And then when the dupe happens, there you go. I did that actually with a skeleton mob head. That was the only mob head I did not have. I had tons of other ones before the dupe, and then when lightning was activated, I got a bunch of charge creepers. Used one on a skeleton, got his head, and then I duped the crap out of that one. That's how I got all my skeleton mob heads. And that's what you need to do. You need to collect stuff, and you're preparing for your dupe. Like raid a dupe stash. That's easier said than done. They're kind of getting harder and harder to find. Yeah, exactly. Fluffy says collect one, like right here. I have one of everything. So when that dupe happens, this is everything I'd be duping. And that's exactly kind of what I have in my my ender chest. Everything's duped. I start off with that one set and then just dupe the heck out of it. JSOR says, how far would you walk out of spawn before setting up a base? Now, are you talking a permanent base or a temporary base? Temporary base before moving on to a more permanent base. Like something just to get yourself started. That's kind of the question. Because I have a lot of temporary bases I started. And then when I felt I was far enough away, that's when I would base for a while. Yeah, Fluffy says, plan on going 400k nether for a permanent base. I don't even think you need to go that much. If you go, I have a couple, like I told you guys before, I have a couple things that I've built that are less than 100k that have still not been found. It's where you go. If you go down a highway, like 100k, and then you only go off like 500, you're going to be found. Because people travel the highways, and they travel just a bit off the highways looking for stuff. So if you go someplace like that, if you go down a highway and you exit, go like another 20,000, 30,000 off the highway. Don't just plop your butt right off the highway. So take that into consideration. Yeah, I mean, you could build something really not that far. Less than 100k. It probably won't last long. It probably won't last 6 months. But it could last a while. You trying to be funny, Just Rez? I'm sorry, did I miss it? Hang on. Kind of scrolling up. Yeah. Who said that? John says, I wonder how long it takes until the 1.13 dupe. Well, I mean, you could technically start using some of the snapshots right now and try to figure out a dupe. Keep it quiet, and then if no one reports it to Minecraft and Mojang, and then 1.13 pops out, hey, you found a dupe that no one else knows about. Bobby says he found a shulker full of totems and got gear on my alt. Yeah, I mean, I've actually found a random shulker in the end, right outside of spawn, or even in spawn. You know, it's sometimes people just ditch stuff because they can't carry any more things with them. That's, you know, when people are stupid rich with stuff that they just ditch shulkers of gear, god gear, because they just have too much stuff. Broken says, why are you streaming at 11 p.m.? I'm not streaming at 11 p.m. I'm streaming at 8:30 p.m. It's just 11:30 for, or it's just 11 o'clock at night for you. Fluffy says, do I need to know Java to find dupes? You don't necessarily need, it's just being inventive. I don't think knowing Java wouldn't hurt if you really want to be in the know. But yeah, that's kind of your choice. You can definitely find some exploitable things doing that. Time zone's broken. You guys have any more questions for me about the survival series before I wrap it up? John says, how long will I bring this series to? Probably when I end the stream. This will be the last of this particular survival series. This is just showing, you know, starting out, getting your initial set of god gear, and then kind of going from there. It can be a little harder if you're not using hack clients because, you know, you can't see where particular ores are, but you can always change your resource pack to be, there are X-ray resource packs, but take that with a grain of salt depending on what server you on. Some of them dislike that. Tubi doesn't, it's not that it allows it, it just doesn't stop it. Text Seth says, am I still on the wall? Yes, you are. I'm going with NZ Gaming and ZZ. Nerdy Birdie says, Barren, how would you recommend not getting bored late game? That's when you got to change things up. You can start doing different things, challenging yourself. That's why I did the 1.12 advancements. Building something outside your normal comfort level. Building a base in the nether. Building a base in the void over in the end. Doing different things, you know. Every time I try to build something, I try to use a different building material. I mean, sometimes, most of the time I use Schematica because I'm completely unoriginal sometimes. But, you know, I like to use different materials to build. I don't like to just always build with stone or always build with, you know, wood. I like building up because it's the challenge on getting the materials that I need to build. If you understand what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, Fluffy says, I would say improve building skills. Exactly. You know, go on Planet Minecraft. Look at what other people build and kind of get ideas from them. You know, go on to YouTube and watch how people build redstone things and build some new redstone contraptions. It's kind of whatever you want to make of it and doing different things. Like if you're just, like if you were me at this point and you're like, okay, I got everything I need. I'm kind of bored at this point. You know, it's what you make of it. I mean, I could go out, make more iron golem farms. I could make an iron titan, which would make an insane amount of iron. Make a gold farm, kind of things like that. Fluffy says, redstone's broke on 2B. It's not, it was broke before. Actually, redstone actually works pretty good now compared to what it did. I remember when, it was a couple months ago when House was trying something and I would do this and this, all my redstone would disappear. Like literally would disappear because it could not handle burnout torches. Hey Oxy, thanks for popping in. Hey man, fellow Imgracraft server player, thanks for popping in. Kind of just going over my Anarchy server build. Seeing if anybody had any final questions before I kind of close out this series. Because I mean, there's still so much more I could do. I definitely could clean this up. This is so, I mean, I still have the original blocks in here. It's just so messy. But it's functional. I like functional. Bobby says, would you're my base eventually? You mean, would I come out to your base eventually? Yeah, I probably will. Hey, thanks for the comment, Micromine. Texas says, what's your next series going to be? I was thinking about doing a survival series in the end, kind of a thing. I've kind of already got set up on Constantium.net, and I was thinking about kind of transferring from doing Survival Anarchy on 2B to doing it on a different server. You know, kind of switching it up, different players, different environments. Makes it interesting. Like before it was said, you know, how do you not get bored? Change it up. Any final questions? Somebody asked Oxy what's he been up to, and he says probably about 100 hours of flying and finding old bases that weren't discovered. Economy of 2B is jacked. Yeah. I don't know if it's jacked. Give it some more time. If another dupe does not happen for a while, you'll start seeing people asking for a lot more stuff. You know, people will eventually start using up their duped items or dupe stashes we found and destroyed. You give it time, and you know, people overly just either give stuff away or lose stuff. And if a dupe doesn't happen for a while, like if it's another year before 1.13 comes out, I guarantee a lot of new players that come on 2B aren't going to have this stuff, and they're going to be at a huge disadvantage. Bobby says, I love you, BarrenDome. Thank you. Tex says, are you going to say quartz? No, I'm not going to say quartz. Not going to say the quartz. I'm going to keep this place. It's kind of at a good location. I will probably let a couple people know the location. I am going to, because it's nothing big. It's, you know, just a fun little build that I did over kind of a week. John says, hey, Barren, what's next for you? What's your next goal? I actually have I still have a couple videos I need to do. I have a couple builds. I have my Kraken I need to do a video on. I have my Necromancer's Tower that I need to do a video on. Shoot, what else do I have? Windmere Keep, but I can't do a video on that because it's one of my dupe stashes, and I have a feeling that if I show it based on the terrain, that because it's so out in the open, it's a castle that looked like it's naturally weathered and destroyed over the years, and I was building it right as the crafting dupe came out, and it was just happened to be one of my dupe stations because of how easy it was to stuff there. So a build became a dupe stash. So that's a place eventually. If it ever gets found destroyed, then yeah, we'll do a video on it. I still have a couple things in the end that I've been building, but I haven't shown anybody. So I have lots of things I still need to show. I just need to be kind of weighing the options between am I lazy or not have the time, and it's kind of both and both on that one. Markabine says, Barren and Casual are the best mellow 2B2T vloggers. Thank you. I don't know if I'm a living legend. I wouldn't go that far. I'm a D-list YouTuber. My videos keep getting demonetized because all this background music. Someone is always claiming a friggin' copyright on it, even though it's supposed to be no copyright music. It's pissing me off. Damn you, YouTube. Yeah, Oxy says no way he wants to wait in the queue. Yeah, the queue is still stupid, man. I only paid the 20 bucks this month because I want to do the live stream and I want to get in. And in case I get disconnected, you can't sit in a live stream in the queue. It's unacceptable for the views kind of a thing. So I did you guys a service to give you some content without having to wait. But yeah, the queue is just stupid. There's no reason for the queue. I mean, player count has gone down. I don't think the queue is really needed at this point, but I understand House's reasoning if he's got to pay for this super server that he had to beef up over the last, you know, year and a half because of all the players and because of Camping Rusher. I think he's at a disadvantage now because he can't really go back. You get what I'm saying? Hey, McNeil, thanks for popping in. Who's that? The Noble Trooper says, I heard there's a stash full of bedrock that hasn't been rendered yet. Your opinion? I mean, if someone has a stash and it's in shulkers, then they're going to be fine. But if it's in a normal chest, they're not going to be able to probably take it out. But then again, I don't know because no one tells me anything. I'm on the outskirts like a lot of people, so I don't get told too much on the inside stuff. No, yeah, 20 bucks is definitely not worth the 2 hours at most. It's not. The queue is stupid. It's overpriced, unfortunately. So I'm gonna. This will probably be one of the. Unless I do live streams again on Tubi, I will not pay for the queue at all. I will sit through the fucking queue and wait my turn, or I will have my account log in the morning and I'll just AFK fish because I can log because I usually wake up at 2 in the morning to go to work. I'll log my account in and leave it AFK fishing until I come home if I'm gonna play that day. Just how it is. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Oxy. I'll catch you later. Yeah, I mean, if it's in a chest, as long as they don't open the chest, it's fine. But you, at this point, because of the plugins that House is using, if you put a hopper underneath it, the hopper will not even pull from the chest. Because I've tried it with, I know a lot of us have tried it with the shulkers full of pig spawners. You put a pig spawner, or a shulker full of pig spawners on a hopper, the hopper will not pull it. Hey, DJ Junk Food. I am a legend. Thanks. Just a random question. If you were able to find an active command block on Tubi with a command that plays the gas sounds, would you press the button? I would try to mine it. I don't know about pressing the button. Yeah, McNeil says illegally stacked items though. So normally items in the game can be pulled out with the hopper. They won't be stacked anymore. But you can't just open a, like if the swords are stacked, like I have a stack of 64 swords. You can't just open the shulker. It'll revert to one sword. So you have to use hoppers and a whole array of chests. And you can pull out all of them then, one by one. But illegal items like barrier blocks or pig spawners, those you cannot pull from your shulkers. It just won't let you, because House thinks they're illegal items. But I want to try to find a way, because I've been watching RayzWorks videos on how he's been generating spawners and in the sky. He knows where spawners and dungeons will spawn, and he can generate spawners on demand. Well, he's also able to tweak the redstone contraption that does it to also generate a pig spawner. So I want to be able to generate, I'm sure somebody already has and they're just quiet about it, but I want to be able to, one of the first people to generate a pig spawner legitimately in 2B. But it would probably be deleted because of House's plugin. Go figure, right? The Noble says, how cool would it be the backdoor to op everyone? It would not be cool. Nope. That you would not want. Blaze says, hey Baron, are you trusted people able to come and see this? Yeah, actually I'm going to probably post the coordinates to the private section of my Discord, the people that I've trusted the most. and they want to come out here, they can. It's not much to see. It's not impressive. It's just a hole in the ground. But it's, if anything, it's probably would be a cool, you know, rest stop, you know, refuel station for people at certain locations. So it might be an option for you. McNeil says, if you got an op on 2B, what would you do? I'd be subtle about it, about what I could possibly make or do. You know, that's a good question. I mean, if you had OP, you could really generate any item with any characteristics. That's a good question. I'd really have to think about that. That's actually really good. I like that. Oh, if you had 1 minute of creative mode. That's a good question. Huh. I don't know. You could TP to somebody, but you'd have to... That's kind of random. I would probably want to... Because command blocks would only work for a little bit, because once you go back to survival, you wouldn't be able to use a command block again. I don't know, maybe village... I like villager eggs. Those would be kind of cool. So if you're like, you're going out to the end, just making a bunch of villagers for yourself. McNeil said he would have created for 1 minute. He would make a stack of a case of boats. I think it'd be cool, I think, if there was a way to mail stuff to other players. Like if there was like an Ender mailbox where you put something in the box with the user's name and it would pop into their Ender mailbox. I think that's something, they need to think of a new mechanic or something like that to give players. But they don't think about multiplayer servers or, you know, people that live millions of blocks apart. They're like, oh, you're only 1,000 blocks. Players don't go further than 1,000. Stingy says, what computer do you use? Actually, I built it myself. And I was supposed to go on my Twitter account, but my Twitter account kept crashing on me. It was like my first tweet where I had all my parts that I had. Let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, if I can find that again, I'll actually post the link to the... Because actually, I bought all the parts off PCPartPicker.com, and where I built the whole computer myself, assembled it, and... Yeah. Because I'm kind of into computers, so I probably should know how to build my own. Hey, Gamer Colton. Yeah, Just Red says that there's already a plugin that does it. I'm sure there's so many mods out there, so many cool mods. But you got to think again that you know, pistons started as a mod, hoppers were mods before Minecraft introduced them. So think about that. They do look at the horses. That was a mod. So things like that. They do watch the community. I don't know how they're gonna do it now that Minecraft's in charge and not Mojang, but you never know. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna kind of wrap up the stream right now. After I wrap up the stream, I'm gonna do a world download just to have it. And maybe I'll do a kill, and maybe I'll start up another stream later tonight down at Spawn. Maybe we'll see. We'll see who's on. It's Friday night. I ain't gotta work tomorrow. Might be fun. I always like doing those, just popping in at Spawn and doing live streams. It's good for a little while, and then people get handsy. No, it's fun. Bobby says, please release the world download. Well, if I release the world download, you'll know where the location is. I can't do that. Can't do that. Bye, DJ. Barren, if you know much about computers, do you prefer Ubuntu Linux or Windows? I mean, I know more about Windows because that's majority of what I work with. I've tinkered with Ubuntu. I would like to get into it more. It's just I don't have the time, or the I really don't have the time. So it's unfortunate. If I did with a lot of it at work, I would probably take more time to learn it or go to classes on it, but I haven't. But I have played with it. It's a cool OS. I liked it. All right, y'alls. I'm gonna go ahead and end out the stream. I want to thank you all for popping in and watching for a little while. Kind of just wrapping up this the 2B2T Anarchy Survival. I showed you everything I wanted to. Showed you how to get all the god gear, have all these farms running all at the same time, and I hope you at least got something out of it. Entertainment, maybe a new way of doing something, and I kind of enjoyed doing this. It was something different for me, particularly those first 2 days where I did 2 6-hour streams. I don't know how many other people do 6-hour streams on 2B, and I'm not just sitting on a pig or a boat going to the world board, if you know what I mean. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end it. You guys have a good night. Maybe later tonight you'll see another live stream from me down at Spawn. We'll see. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye.